Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Beth Ann. Today I want to talk a little bit about Will Prescribe You Another Cat by Syou Ishida. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, and I apologize. This was translated by E. Madison Shimoda. And this is a sequel, I guess. They're not super linear, but a sequel to Will Prescribe You a Cat. And Will Prescribe You Another Cat just came out last year in 2025, I want to say. And I did enjoy the first one, so I knew I really wanted to read this when it came out because it's just so cute and cozy. I obviously like cats. There's my little guy, Pooh Bear, looking thoughtfully out the window, as cats are wont to do. So yeah, cozy read. It wasn't a perfect read for me, the first one, so I kind of went into this one thinking that it probably wouldn't be a perfect read either, and it wasn't, but I still enjoyed it, so I want to talk about it. This is a spoiler-free review, but I am going to assume that you're at least somewhat familiar with the first book, and so like that one, this is a series of vignettes. I think there are kind of three, where we hear about characters who are all at sort of a sticking point in their lives. And by word of mouth, people in Kyoto hear about this, I think it's called Kokoro Clinic for the Soul, if I'm remembering correctly. I read this before Christmas, so things are getting a little bit dim. They hear about this Kokoro Clinic for the Soul, and people just say, oh, you've got to try it out. It helped, my second cousin once removed. It'll help you too. And they go to the clinic, and there's a very strange doctor and a very strange nurse, both of whom seem to have a pretty light grasp on sort of normal human social dynamics. And before people can even really dig into their problem, talking with this doctor, the doctor says, bring me a cat, and he prescribes them a cat. And so they're sort of forced to go home with a cat. And the cat, sort of the routine and the responsibility and the building of a relationship with a cat, for all of these characters sort of takes them out of themselves a little bit and gives them a new perspective, or gives them just that new push that they need to solve the problem in their life. And so just very cozy, and I think any person who owns a pet of any kind, but especially a cat, would really just completely understands that idea of just the beauty and the calmness and the groundedness that having a pet, particularly a handsome fellow like that, can bring into your life. So it's really lovely and cozy like that. I didn't really like very much in the first book that sort of the history of who this doctor and this nurse are was sort of partially revealed. It was kind of hinted at, and I'll link to my review down below, but basically I felt like I either wanted it to be a complete black box where it's just like there's this random clinic and you can only find it when you need it, and once you don't need it anymore, you can't go back and find it again. If you try to take somebody along with you who doesn't need the clinic, you're not going to be able to find it. And then you get a cat, the cat distribution system. It's amazing. And I kind of just wish it had been a black box, but in the first book, it's kind of teased what, who the doctor and the nurse are, and kind of why they're there. And that unfolds more explicitly in this second book, although it's still also, it's not explained in a very obvious way, almost. Like there's a lot that is still a mystery, but you do get more of a window into the history of this doctor and this nurse. And it's fine, but I kind of wish they just kept the mystery and had it be just this like magical surprise in Kyoto. Like I just would have loved that. And that's not the case. So that was something that disappointed me a little bit, but it really only comes in towards the end of each of the books, and it's really lightly dealt with. So certainly you can enjoy the whole book without worrying about that point if you're like me. Pooh Bear wants to be more in the video since he knows it's about cats now. The other thing that I wasn't quite as big a fan of in this one is that I felt like in the first book, the characters themselves and the struggles they were going through in their lives were just a bit more relatable. In this book, one of the vignettes, I want to say it's the longest one, but I didn't page count. It certainly felt like the longest one, was following a young woman. She's like in university, so she's really young, and she's just agonizing about whether her boyfriend is going to break up with her or not. And that just rubbed me the wrong way. After, it would have been okay if it was really short. And then the cat came and she got clarity. And personally, I think she should have dumped the boyfriend. But it went on and on and on. And then there were multiple cats. And I was just like, this is not, I don't know. I mean, it is a real problem to evaluate your relationships and figure out if you want to be in them, and evaluate your partner and things like that. It's all very valid and it's hard, but it just didn't sit well with me. That drove me a little bit crazy. So still a cozy read, still lovely, still about cats and relationships between people and cats, but definitely not a 5-star read for me. This was a 3 stars out of 5 stars because of that coziness, but wasn't something I would rank higher just because of those things that I talked about. Also, look at this cover. It's so cute. Little kitties popping out of a prescription bottle. Amazing. So have you read this? Did you have similar gripes to me, or did you just love it because it's delightfully cozy? I'd love to know. All right, thanks. I will see you in the next video. Bye.